So this is from the channel They Did What? And essentially what he's talking about is a woman getting a big surprise after she gets caught by police doing some weird stuff. And then after the police find this out, the husband gets full custody. Man, guys, what are we doing out here?
This is about a guy, ex-husband and father, who I guess recently was awarded full custody of his kid after his now ex-wife definitely proved to the court she's an unfit mother on multiple fronts. And what did she do? Well, I'm going to let you find out in real time because believe me, holy crap, it is out there. And this story is a perfect example of beware of gals that will baby trap a man, and also beware of gals that are into horses. I'm going to leave it at that because a lot of gals that are into horses definitely have a reputation for being kind of oddballs and things like that, and it is no different here. So, starts off, says here, hello SSM. I've been wrestling with the end of my marriage for a few years now. I've been in therapy since then. Well, dude, after the way it ended, I can definitely understand why. My therapist has been encouraging me to find a place to open up. I've been watching your videos for a while, and your channel seems to be one of the few places online where someone can talk about messed up divorces and cheating. That's why I'm here, brothers. That's why I'm here. I met my now ex-wife in 2012. Her name was Megan. My company was doing remodeling work on her family property. Her mom and dad had recently passed away and left her everything. About 15 acres and a 5-bedroom rancher built in the 70s, a failing horse racing track, and a few horses. She was also left some cash. The exact amount, I'm not sure. If I had to guess, it was probably in the low 6 figures. Not enough to live on for a very long time, but enough for a 24-year-old woman to party with for a few years. She's 24 years old and both parents passed away. Given how this story goes of how wacko she is, I got to question some things. I'm sure you all know what I'm getting at here. Well, Megan hired me to completely update the house. 60 or so new cabinets and a massive kitchen with a large walk-in pantry hidden behind a custom door that blended in with the other cabinets. 2 full bathroom remodels, new light fixtures, all cosmetic work, even through the HVAC. And electrical and plumbing were in rough shape. All in all, about $120,000 in labor and materials. Hey, that's a nice job. Well, my crew wrapped up most of the work in about 2 months. It was a very profitable job. Megan had mostly kept to herself while we worked, hardly home to be honest. The last part of the job was to install the custom pantry door and all the hardware. My new hire was supposed to be there to help me wrap up the job pretty quickly that evening, and then I could collect the final payment.
You know, it's nothing like having your parents pass away, and then the first thing that you think about is, let's go ahead and get this house updated and remodeled. I can see doing like a couple of things, to kind of, make it. Well, I guess she's thinking, well, they ain't here no more, so it's my house now. It's my house in first order of business.
Well, he called in sick, so I was on my own. I was going to cancel and come the next day to wrap it up, but when Megan called, she told me that she was having a brunch party the next morning and insisted I finish the job for the day. Well, I told her I would have to work late to get it done since I was by myself, and she was okay with that. I got there about 6 p.m., later than I'm comfortable with on the job when the homeowner is on site. So, normally he does this when they're not around, let alone being there at night, alone, with a young, good-looking, single woman. I think some of you guys can see where this is going. Well, Megan rolled in around 7 p.m., and she was very talkative and flirting with me. My pace has slowed down to a crawl. While I was working, we talked for a while. I wrapped up late, well after dark, and when I asked her about the final payment of the last $8,000 that she owed, she jumped me. And when she jumped him, I don't mean like she beat him up. She jumped him, got physical. Well, suffice to say, the big head was running on fumes, and the small head took over. Well, doesn't it usually work that way? Smack! How do you think this? You don't mix business with pleasure. This is your company. This is your reputation. Anything can happen from this. Well, Megan was very experienced with riding horses, and as a result, I didn't last very long.
And now I'm thinking, am I going to get my 8,000? Um, was it worth it? I understand. But a lot of times I feel like these ladies would be like, oh, well, that's payment enough. $8,000. I still need that check.
Gee, where'd she get that experience from? She grabbed a towel to clean up down there and said, well, that should more than cover the bill. And then she told me to leave. I was dumbstruck. I told her not a chance and that she owed the full balance.
That's what I'm saying. You already know what these she don't have no more money is probably what it is. She didn't have the money. She knew she didn't have the money. I mean, if you're trying to do all of that stuff, you said low six figures, you're trying to do all of that stuff and it's going to cost you 120,000. How much do you actually have left? And now you're saying, okay, well, you just come. We'll get all them other brothers out the way. I'll give you a little something, something if we can forget this bill. Well, and this is what a lot of these young ladies resort to. It's what a lot of these women resort to, whether they like to admit it or not. Oh, well, I'm just going to use my body, right, to get him to do what I want him to do. But don't objectify me. Don't think that I'm a certain way.
Can you see how out of hand this can get if she wants to get it out of hand? $8,000 ain't worth a pussy. There ain't no pussy out there worth $8,000. Well, she argued with me for a bit, both of us still butt naked. I reminded her that the contract gave her a week to pay until upon completion of the job and told her I would see her in court after that. Dude, she could see you in court, or she could see you arrested when she calls the police, makes up a bunch of things, and you're taken out of there in handcuffs. Well, she gave up and told me to wait a minute. She went upstairs and came back with a little over $6,000 in cash. She's keeping that much cash around? Well, she stopped in front of me, and just before handing me the cash, she spread her legs and squatted. She put the money right under her caboose and wiped a huge glob of my love juice that had worked its way all over the cash. The fuck, man? She then slapped the cash in my hand and said, F you. Ugh. I was done at that point and walked out. The rest of the money wasn't worth fighting with her over. Well, that's what she wanted. Now, I'm sure a bunch of you at this point are like, this is bullshit. Nope, that didn't happen. Guys, there's a lot of fucking weirdos out there. A lot of wackos. Crazier things have happened. You know this. And that's why I'm doing it, because you never know. And it certainly is a hell of a story. But we're just getting started. Well, I moved on with my life. When a few years later I got a phone call from a number I didn't recognize. Well, that's why you don't pick up the fucking phone so you get a number you don't recognize. I never answer any phone. I never answer the phone for any number I don't know. Always the voicemail. I answered the call, and it was a woman claiming to be a customer who owed me some money. She gave me the address, and I looked at the job. Once I realized who it was, I almost hung up the phone. Instead, I arranged to meet her to collect the payment. I showed up to her place to collect. When I opened the door, she was standing there while holding a 3-year-old boy.
That's what I'm saying, man. And listen, as soon as you know who it is, some jobs you just got to take an L on. You got yourself in way too deep. And really, honestly, she had you right where she wanted you. And you took the bait. And so now, yeah, you paid $8,000 for it. She gave you $6,000 back. And so now you got a discount, but you ended up paying $2,000 for it, which is still horrendous. It's still horrendous. But then I hear, and I was hoping I wouldn't have heard this, she poured my love juice on the money. So you mean that you finished inside her?
Obviously, you didn't wear protection that night when you got your $6,000, I asked her if she had the money she owed me, and she shot back that I actually owed her back child support. Well, my brain broke at that point, and the next thing I remember, I was driving home on autopilot with my phone ringing nonstop. That girl's the gift that keeps on giving. Obviously, you're gonna paternity test, but this is your kid. Obviously, how that goes. For one crazy, probably barely 5 minutes with that chick back 3 years earlier. Well, the kid was mine. A DNA test confirmed it. The guy she was dating at that time thought he was the dad. He found out he was not. Her money was gone, and the guy who was paying her bills managed to get his name removed from the birth certificate, and he took off. Well, good for him, because it shouldn't be on the birth certificate. So what's the girl going to do? She's going to go track down the guy who had no idea he had a kid out there. So she tracked down every single guy who could have possibly been the father, and of course she saved the best for last. Well, isn't it nice for her? You and your own business, good solid living and all that. Well, I got to know my son after hashing it out in court. Every other weekend in exchange for $1,800 a month in child support. That's $1,800 for every other weekend? Oh, yay.
So now you need to work out a deal. Maybe you can live in that house that you remodeled. I don't know if you have a wife. I don't know if you're single, but make the best out of a bad situation. I remodeled this house, so I know how it works. How about you and I get together and get married?
Over the next couple of years, I got to know Megan better as well. I would then go on to make the biggest mistake of my life. I asked her out on a date. Smack! What? After how she behaved? After you know she's the town scooter? Are you fucking kidding me? You think it's going to get better? Well, Megan has started a business putting up horses for rich West Coast snobs. She had stables on her property. She made decent money between that and studying out her prize horse. I got a vasectomy because deep down I think I knew not to sign up for another 18 years of financial obligation to her, but I was stupid enough to, wait for it, marry her. Smack! Brother, it was bad enough you slept with her. It was bad enough that you freaking picked up the phone. It was bad enough that you freaking started dating her. But you married this crazy bee? How do you think that's going to go?
And if she was willing to basically, because you might think about marrying her, like I was, kind of joking about a minute ago, but you what you're going to run into, because she's crazy. She's crazy. So the fact that she did that to the money and then handed it to you, you already know where you're working with something. And then she called you, what was it, sometime later, a couple years later or something like that. Well, a few years later, actually. And she's saying, hey, bada bing, bada boom. Guess what? That's her throwing things on you and trying to get out of the situation, trying to get help. She's flailing. Her attitude is like, I gotta do something by any means necessary. She showed that by isolating you and having you come over to the house late at night, and then trying to pay for it with her body. And then she tried to take the money out of your pocket, but only gave you $6,000. And then for some reason you thought you can enforce a contract when this woman will do anything. She'll stop at nothing to get whatever she needs to get. So even if you marry her, in all seriousness, it's a ticking time bomb.
Oh my God. Well, fast forward a year into COVID, and I have an amazing son who came with a woman who is the most frustrating woman you could ever be with. That's on you, dude. I'm not feeling bad for you. Come on here. You could have your son. You don't have to marry her. Well, the mask came off a year after being married. Well, normally I'd say it usually does, but her mask was right there for you that night. It was a dead bedroom, constant fighting, and I was about to divorce her. Well, I woke up to go to work after a really nice shouting match that lasted half the night, sometime in early June. I walked out to the work truck, which I found had a smashed windshield. Of course, was she listening? What was that? Who was that singer that had that song that was big like 20 years ago or 15 years ago about, like, you find out the guy cheats when he cheats, And she, talking about the Louisville Slugger, to both headlights, that line. I guess she was listening to that song. I was done at that point, and I called the police. They took their sweet time getting there, and she was nowhere to be found. I hadn't seen her all morning. Well, the police show up, look around, and ask where my wife was. I told them I haven't seen her all that morning, but her car was still here, so she was on the property. I told them the only other place she could be was the stables. I walked them over to the main door. I know what's coming. I walked them over to the main door, and they had me wait outside. A few seconds later, I hear the female officer scream, and a horse startled. A whole bunch of screaming erupted, and the officer out there with me ran into the building. I ran in after him, and what I saw is still burned into my brain. My wife was butt naked and pinned under her prize horse, Buck. He had fallen on her.
She's just crazy. She's crazy. Once again, I mean, talk about the mask. She already showed the lengths that she's willing to go to get out of things. I mean, and she doesn't think with her entire brain. She doesn't think with her full brain. So if the police come, I got to figure out something stupid to do for them to admit me into some sort of hospital or facility. They got to think I'm crazy, and maybe they won't charge me. That's the type of time that she seems like she's on.
Nice name for the horse, Buck. Okay, again, you guys haven't caught on to what's going on here. She's butt naked, pinned under the horse, her prized horse, the stud. Megan is still with us, though she is far worse than for wear. Broken legs, crushed pelvis, as well as substantial internal contusions from having a horse member ram up there with the full weight of the horse behind it. She was life flighted out and in surgery. A year later, she was recovered enough to go through with the divorce. She narrowly avoided jail for animal bad things, lost her business license, lost custody of the horses, and most importantly, our son. Thank God. Thank God. That is fucking disgusting.
And because she did that, that might be your ticket. Because you've made a few crucial mistakes. So that might be your ticket out of this.
But we're not done yet. The cops would later find a whole bunch of videos that she was selling to strangers online. Those types of videos of really effed up things are out there, guys. I haven't seen anything like that ever. Not that I wanted to see anything like that, but those videos, I'm assuming, are out there. Lots of videos and clips of really disturbing things. I can think of a few extremely disturbing things I've seen in my life when I was a young lad with my bros and the internet first came about and you could find things, and that burned in memory too, but not this type of stuff. It turns out that she was selling buck stuff online to horse breeders. Ugh. She made a number of videos showing how she extracted the samples that she would sell to these pervs. While the judge in her criminal case let her off the hook, the family court judge did not. Well, thank God for that judge. My son and I moved far away from the West Coast. Megan is in a wheelchair last I knew and is financially ruined. So yeah, stay away from the crazy horse girls. They are nuts.
And it took you that whole situation to know that. Well, maybe he was a young brother, honestly. maybe he was a young brother. A lot of times you don't know what you don't know, right? And, you get caught in positions where you be like, oh, man, I shouldn't have done that. Or, man, what was I thinking? So, it kind of makes sense depending on his age. But, now you know.
Women give men a million reasons to look elsewhere with their attitudes. So women got it twisted because women think that since they're beautiful and they have a vagina, that their the goddess of the universe and that men should just be happy to be with them. But that what you don't understand is vagina come a dime a dozen nowadays. It's free because women are so emotional. It don't matter what you did all the way up until the moment she's mad. When she mad, it don't matter what you did. She'll destroy everything because she didn't get her way in these 5 minutes. This is what women do in relationships. And then they say, happy wife, happy life.
Mm-hmm.
That's narcissism to the 1000th degree. Mm-hmm. But women don't think they're narcissists.
Anyone else notice that she's not asking why he feels that way? So here's me asking, men, why do you feel like you would rather choose peace over a relationship with a woman? What is it about being in a relationship with a woman that causes you so much turmoil that you would just rather say, fuck it, be alone. Get that boat. Go fishing every day. Come home alone to your dog. What is it about being in a relationship that is causing you to feel this way? Now I would love to know.
A lot of men are opting to stay single versus dealing with these women. And I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. Because realistically speaking, you're spending significantly more time, money, effort, and resources to attract women that are half as good. You're paying double the price for a more used asset, bro. I'm gonna go to the Mercedes dealership and spend $250,000 for a G-Wagon, but the G-Wagon has been wagging and that shit's at 100,000 miles? Nah, bro. He's done getting BBLs, thinking that brings the mileage back. No, it doesn't. But they try to tell you, oh, new body, new me. Out of here. That is the new sexual marketplace. That is modern women for you.
No, males are not choosing, but
Oh, yes, they are.
I do find it hilarious how they are all like, yeah, we're done with women. That's why we're all single, because we chose to be done with women.
You know, if someone tells you something often enough, maybe you should start believing them because, yeah, a lot of men are just completely done with dating.
You guys didn't choose that. You know you didn't choose that.
Oh, but they did. What exactly is so hard to believe about that?
You know that right now women are becoming really picky and not choosing men that all they do is bring a paycheck.
Like I said before, there's a lot of women that are very upset that a lot of guys are actually choosing to be single because they want all of the power for themselves and to be able to dictate who they date. It is incomprehensible to some that guys actually can choose who to date.
Although there are still women out there who will accept that. And I suggest you go find them and leave us alone.
Oh, I don't think that'll be a problem at all because it's almost like personality types similar to
I don't know when we're finally going to realize that more and more men are single because they want to be single. Because they've built up their lives. They like their day-to-day routine. They buy what they want as long as they can afford it, and they can spend as much time doing their hobbies as they want to. But what they don't want is making the mistake of sacrificing those things for something less than what they already have. And I get it because, hey, we've heard that ladies are raising the bar. They're raising their standards. But guess what, ladies? Men are doing the same.
Modern women feel like men are so stuck on them. They feel like it's all about them. They feel like men just can't live without them. That's why they say silly stuff like, I could go to another world or another place and live with all women. Or I choose a bear, because they think it's all about them. But God forbid a man say, yeah, you know, if that's what y'all want to do, go over there and do that. But for me, I'm perfectly fine single as well. I don't want the bill. I don't want the headache. You know, I would just rather live in peace after my experience and seeing, you know, the stuff that's happened to me with some of these women out here. I think I'm going to take a break for a little while. How dare you? The male loneliness epidemic. Men aren't stepping up. Men are becoming cowards. What's wrong with men? Where are the men at? Why are men so sissified nowadays? Oh, okay. All right, cool.
I don't mean this in an offensive way at all, I swear to God. But I feel like I see an attractive man like once every 30 men that I see. I see a bad bitch everywhere I go.
Somebody said this to me and asked if it's because the girls are gay. And although I do think that's funny, I think that's only about 25% of what's going on here. I think the other 75% comes from what we consider a bad bitch versus an attractive man. Now, what we consider a bad bitch are typically things that can be bought. over the course of like one weekend, a maintenance day, so to speak. They can buy the hair, we can buy the nails, we can buy the lashes, we can buy the Fashion Nova fit that makes us look like we're worth $500 and go out looking like a bad bitch. However, for men, what we consider an attractive man is typically a man that has a whole bunch of money, which he has to work hard to get, a man that has a nice physique, which he has to work hard to get, a man that is respectable and has power, so to speak, which are all things that take time. Girls can look like a bad bitch, give them $300 in a few hours. Men have to work to be attractive men. That's the difference.
¿Cuántos años tenés?
¿Cuántos años tengo yo? 55.
¿Sí?
55.
55? No es cierto. ¿La verdad?
No, 45.
¿45? A ver, un vuelta. Guys, that's 45 years old right there. 45. ¿A qué te gusta en la cama? MILF?
No, MILF.
And she has kids. ¿A qué te gusta? ¿Cuál position? A ver. Guys, I'm not even that tall. You know, I have to be on my tippy toes to effort doggy style. Oh, ¿y tienes hijos? ¿Uno? ¿Dos? Vas a tener tres.
Oh, okay. My husband. This is the.
Damn right, baby. Can you make those?
I like it a lot.
¿Alguna vez tu booty? ¿Tu nalgas? God damn, man. Oh my gosh. Fuck me. I got a boner, bro.
An older, bald black man asked, why do black women specifically not speak when spoken to in the grocery store? And I'm just going to say, baby, we do not be one to talk to y'all unless you're fine shit. You're older, bald, and black. You're not fine shit. Okay, half the time women are looking at you and like, yeah, he probably got an ex-wife, a current wife, a couple of kids, and a whole bunch of problems. Okay, being an older, bald black man is not going to benefit you out here unless a woman can physically see your assets. And I do mean physically see your assets, because half the time being an older single man is just not a flex unless you have money. And if the woman cannot see your assets, she may not want to even engage in a conversation with you these days. Let's just be for real. Half the time y'all don't have nothing good in mind for us. You just want to hit, you waste our time, turn half of us into baby mamas, or use us up for our energy. You older, sir. Okay? Trying to pick women up in the grocery store is just not it. This is not 1980s no more. That's not going. Women will straight up ignore you. No longer are we caring about y'all feelings to where we like, oh, let me just let him down nicely or whatever. Don't talk to me. If you're not my type, don't talk to me. I'm going to ignore you. Straight up. And that's how a lot of women are coming these days, because otherwise it starts unprovoked conversations. You start asking us for numbers, all type of stuff, and we was just probably trying to be nice and let you down easy. So instead of trying to let men down easy, we just don't respond. Okay? And for you specifically, you're an older, bald black man. Sir, you might need to get on the dating apps and start posting your assets, your car, your house, or something to let women know you got motion. But trying to pick women up in the grocery stores, and you're probably trying to pick young women up, they're not going unless you got some money. It's 2025, baby. I know you ain't out here trying to pick girls up in the grocery store. We barely even like y'all, man. We sure don't want y'all talking to us in public unprovoked.
I feel like I do okay.
A few moments later.
Oh! Dang. Let's find out. Let's find out why these gentlemen popped. Okay. Why'd you pop?
I was saying you good, you know, all that. You just, the dress and class is nice, but, you know, I don't want to be having to fight and box somebody every night. So, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah. She is attractive. Yeah.
She's thick, so she gonna get that.
You'll be surprised. Like, a lot of people, they're more intimidated, so they don't come to me because of that.
But I only pop because, you know, I feel like brother right here, he was pouring his heart out. You know, he gave you an honest answer and you still popped on him. So,
well, what does that got to do with you?
I mean, I just feel like, you know, if he pouring his heart out, you know what I'm saying? I felt like he gave some good answers. I don't feel like my answers was too well. So.
Actually, it wasn't the answers. It was the hesitation, and it was the not understanding. So, I mean, he didn't listen to me. See how when I came to you, you listened and you knew how to respond. I didn't have to repeat myself. And I don't want to do that in a relationship, you know?
I understand.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I'm going to be real. Like, you gorgeous, but, like, man, some men just ain't smooth.
What?
You know, it's smooth right here. So, you know.
What do you mean by that?
He every man sometimes be intimidated sometimes by a beautiful woman, and then the feed off that and pop his balloon is kind of hardcore. I wouldn't do you like that. That's the only reason I popped the balloon, because you just dog my boys out.
See, that's the thing. You knew what I was saying. I like a man's man. That's just what I align with. I like someone that knows what they want, and I have to think about it. So I didn't want to waste his time nor mine.
But you can build them up.
No, I don't want to build up a man. I'm not in that season. I don't deserve to do that.
That's cold.
She's being real though. Yeah.
Hello? What the fuck is you looking over there for? You're gonna start, I'm gonna start over. Maybe you need me to come back. Hello? Sean, who the fuck is this?
That's Jay Sean. Ask him his name. You gotta talk to him.
Hi, Jay Sean. Yeah. I'm the first girl coming and shit like that. My name is Zoe. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Who else?
It's good, gang.
No. No?
Why are you looking over there and I'm right here?
Oh, my fault, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm just
Introduce yourself, though.
My name is Zoe.
Okay, nice to meet you.
My name is Zoe. Jay Sean.
Sure.
I don't like that you looking over there and I'm right here.
You just came on to be too aggressive.
Why you looking away and shit? You about boring as fuck.
I said no. What the hell we doing? Damn.
Alright, I'm gonna just walk away.
What happened though?
I don't know.
You said what? She too loud? She ain't coming right.
Real masculine men are not checking for women with masculine energy and who are aggressively loud. Women don't understand this. That when a man is mature, when he is practicing emotional intelligence, when he has boundaries and he has standards, he will most definitely overlook you if you are this type of woman. And no hate towards the woman in the video, but this is a prime example of what real men do when they come across this type of woman. And when I say real men, I'm talking about the men that walk in masculinity, men who want to be men in the relationship. While on the other hand, women like this think that their beauty is their token to do whatever they want, be whoever they want, and act however they want. And yes, there are men that will let this type of stuff slide. But the men that do are on the same level as this type of woman. Being a masculine woman with no type of feminine qualities will attract feminine men. Men that aren't stepping in their masculinity are blindly forcing women to take on their roles, to be the masculine woman in the relationship, to approach in a masculine way, to act like one of the bros or one of the homeboys. And I'm sorry, the fact that he immediately turned her down despite how she looked, who she is, what she's wearing, what she got on, shows that real men who walk in masculinity will not settle with you because you look good, because you're fine, because you got a body. Women get so confused. They think that this type of behavior is her personality. This is just how she is. She just has so much energy. She's just loud. No, sis, this is poor characteristics. And this shows a lot about who she is. Because if you are a woman presenting yourself in a manly way, then you're going to attract feminine men. Men that will allow you and be okay with you having the control, being aggressive within the relationship. Because why would you as a woman ever approach the guy you're interested in as one of the homeboys? And why would you expect him not to do the same back to you? Or in this case, ignore you, not be interested in you. Men need feminine women so they can be masculine.
I don't know what she's got going on, but it's not the right thing. Yeah, you need to get it together. I don't know what's happening here, but I don't know if you think that's cute. I don't know if you think that men are going to like that. No.
Let's just put this argument to bed about female nature. Female nature is a set of behaviors that emerge from the subconscious. These are biological imperatives that have been adapted over hundreds of thousands of years from the tribal Homo sapien. These behaviors are meant to maximize the survivability of a woman's offspring. This set of behaviors, female nature, applies to all women, regardless of age, culture, IQ, trauma, upbringing. This is their nature. Their nurture, this stuff, determines how well they can regulate their nature. The difference from woman to woman is how well they can regulate their nature, these instincts that they have no control over because they emerge from the subconscious. So, a good woman has control over her nature. She can regulate these urges, these instinctual urges that she cannot help. Female nature applies to all women, toxic women, good women, trad wives. Female nature exists underneath everything else. How good of a woman they are depends on their nurture and how well they can regulate their nature.
I feel like you have a very high expectation of femininity, which is fine. I don't think that you quite meet the standards of masculinity that I would see. And so I think that it's unfair if you're not going to meet standards of masculinity to have certain standards of femininity.
What are the standards of masculinity?
It goes far beyond like your financial income. I think that men should be fit. I think they should be strong, able to protect. I think that they should be mentally and emotionally able to provide, not short-tempered would be.
I've been
talking about
super
masculinity.
patient this entire show. You guys have been a little feral tonight, not gonna lie. My patience was exhausted. Before the show, we give you guys instructions on our expectations of you. We say don't do sidebar conversations. We say all these things. You guys have been just completely feral. Like if you poke even a really patient person far enough, yeah, they're gonna get frustrated.
You have been a little bit short-tempered. My husband in 15 years has never even raised his voice at me. And I will say I'm kind of difficult. I will give him that.
Oh, well now we're talking about something different. Actually, let's explore this. You're difficult how?
I can have a bit of a temper sometimes.
Interesting. You have the temper, and your husband does what when you have a temper?
He tells me to take a breath and calm down a little bit.
But it's a behavior that you've been with him for 15 years. It seems like your husband has not laid a strong enough boundary in your relationship, which I think would actually indicate a lack of masculinity on your husband's part.
I strongly disagree.
Hold on. Your husband tolerating 15 years of, I have an attitude problem, I'm sorry. That's not masculinity.
He has never raised his voice at me. And the Bible calls for men to treat their women with understanding.
Proverbs 21:19. Better to live in a desert than with a quarreling and nagging wife. You just admitted that you've been, for vast amounts of your marriage, difficult.
Exactly. And I'm glad she said that there at the end. I am kind of difficult, exactly, which is why Brian is usually, in my opinion, from what I've seen, a patient person. He's a patient person. Doesn't get mad too often, doesn't fly off the handle too often, from what I've seen. And for him to be like, man, come on, guys, let's get it together, means that you are acting a fool. And thank you for admitting that you're acting a fool. Shut up and do what the man is requesting you to do. I mean, you signed up for it. Do what the man is asking you to do.
What's your thoughts about my 360?
I would
Because
be
y'all just looking, but y'all not saying nothing. So what's
I think when I look at a woman, I like to envision my kids. I would be extremely upset if my kids come out a certain way because I think you look like this and you really look like. Yeah, that's how. That's why I don't. This is why I prefer natural women.
Deep though that
But
you
this is why-
envision your kids when you look at somebody you're dealing
Yeah,
with.
because I want to envision my kid.
So you feel like you would be extremely upset?
100%. Yeah.
So you want me to live an unhealthy, obese lifestyle? Wow.
This
okay.
is why I prefer natural.
No problem. Next.
I prefer natural.
Okay, that's
Like,
fine.
yeah.
But what if that's the natural? You're not.
What if that was her natural? Then I'm not attracted to that. Like I'm finding somebody
That's
that
fine.
is. Like you know. What I'm saying?
So you wouldn't be proud of your child
Oh, man.
from going completely obesity on the verge of getting diabetes to now living a healthy lifestyle.
No, he's saying
it was something
he's saying if he had a child with you and the child
If you had a child with me, or if I was your child.
he's saying if he had a child with you.
Oh, my baby
and
daddy?
the child didn't come out
No.
looking like how you look now.
Shut up.
I be telling these dudes, if you can't afford the maintenance, don't test drive the car.
Well, damn, bitch. If I don't test drive, how else would I know if it's a good ride? See, good thing I'm in the car business, and I did my due diligence and pulled up your whole facts. Your whole facts said you've been rearing and the body's been damaged to the point when it's been considered a total loss. I done checked your ACV, which is your actual cooch value. It was considered a salvage title.
What do you get if you marry a Russian bitch? You will wake up early. Not because you want to, because life. You will go to work. You will stop asking questions like, do we really need to do this today? Yes, you do. You will never ever wonder what I think. Ever. You ask, how do I look? I say, you look bad. Go change your shirt. Your life will suddenly have schedule, food, clean clothes, direction. No, you didn't lose your freedom. You've gained management. You say, I had a hard day at work. I say, of course. You can eat now. You will be expected to show up and make money. Follow through and make money. Act like an adult and make money. And make money. Do not tell me you love me. Go fix something and make money. Yes, you will get big problems, but you will also get structure, and you will get a woman who will make sure that your life actually works for her. You're welcome.
Oddly enough, this is pretty simple. You know, some pros and cons to everything, but, you know, it might be the way to go. Somebody said, obviously, this is satire. This is satire. Real life Russian women are much scarier.
Maybe men are the prize and we just need to start appreciating what they bring to the table a little bit more. Can we be so for real for a second? How are men like not the prize in relationships?
Thank you.
As women, we expect men to approach us first, plan the dates, pay for the dates, drive everybody to the dates, provide, protect, stay loyal to us, keep themselves looking good, keep calm in all of the situations and never freak out, and they have to do all of this without complaining. Because, God forbid they do complain, then all of a sudden they're too emotional. Or God forbid they don't make 6 figures and all of a sudden they're broke.
Perfect.
Or God forbid they're not taller than you and all of a sudden he's too short. Or God forbid somebody tries to set boundaries and oh my God, he's too controlling. And then you're doing all of this while simultaneously yelling at him that he's replaceable and you can have any man that you want. Or you're saying that you don't need a man.
I don't need no man.
Actually, and you can do everything you
They're
want
waking
by
up.
yourself and you don't need anybody to tell you anything. And it doesn't make any sense. Like, at a certain point, we have to stop yelling at men and expecting them to be superheroes and then getting mad at them and criticizing them like fucking dogs whenever they act like a human being. Like, maybe men are the prize and we just need to start appreciating what they bring to the table a little bit more.
Hold up a minute. One gosh darn second, okay? You know when you're having a really good morning? I was doing that and then I saw a video and then it ruined it, okay? Let me tell you what it was. I just found out that there are pro-STD influencers and celebrities. There's a group of people who support normalizing STDs. What the fuck? This is what I mean when I say the world has gone retarded. We are fully retarded now, okay? Because there is no fucking way I live in a world where people are normalizing venereal diseases. Y'all are some nasty motherfuckers. People really have too much confidence coming online and admitting like all their nasty shit, okay? Like I have seen multiple videos of people going, this is what it's like to live with herpes and it's totally, bitch, that's not normal. They try to normalize that shit. They're just like, it's totally normal, you guys. It's not, everyone has it. Everyone has it. This is why I fucking stay home, okay? This is why I sit my ass inside because it's safe here, okay? I don't trust you motherfuckers. You wanna know what I think? I'm gonna tell you what I think, okay? I don't fucking care if you wanna know it or not. I think everyone should have to carry around a fucking card at this point, a little health card that says whether or not you're infected or not, okay? Because I swear, I don't trust people. You shouldn't be able to go out and socialize with normal, healthy people if you got something, unless you're going to be fucking open and honest about it and show me documentation. Oh my God. I have talked to several people who have told me like, oh, that's what they make antibiotics for. Oh, bitch. What do you mean? That's how you look at it? Oh my God, you are truly fucked up here. I think I'm actually glitching at this point. But you know what else I think? I think there needs to be a new venereal disease. Something that just kills people within like 6 months, okay? So some of you motherfuckers learn your lesson. Clearly herpes and AIDS just isn't tragic enough for some of you guys.
You know, it seems to me that women are more interested in the lifestyle that a man can offer them than the man themselves, right? It's like y'all only care about what the man comes with, but not the man himself, meaning if anything should happen to where it would impact the lifestyle that you want, okay, you ain't sticking around for that. And you want men to be able to guarantee that they'll be able to keep you or keep the feeling of safety and security no matter the circumstances when some things are just out of their control, right? And a lot of women that think like this is following that sprinkle rhetoric, okay? Because the sprinkle rhetoric is essentially y'all are learning from someone, okay, that used to be a side chick, became the main chick because she's now the wife, right? And she chose a man that really wasn't that physically attractive, but he had money. And if y'all actually listen to that sprinkle stuff, she's actually telling you to not care about looks, okay? So if you want money, there's not going to be a lot of wealthy men that are attractive and that are going to be loyal, okay? So I just think it's interesting y'all are listening to a used to be side chick, okay? And she had to learn to love her husband the way that she does. I think they've been married some time now, but it's just like y'all listen to the most toxic women when it comes to their history and their relationships and then what she's teaching. Now, I ain't gonna knock her hustle. The girl doing it, the lady doing it, okay? But that just shows you what women believe. You're willing to sacrifice certain things for the sake of a lifestyle, for the sake of money, right? And that is not a marriage that God would want you to have. It's more than that. Why would he only want you to be with a man that can financially support you the way you want to, and you just totally overlook everything else, right? A lot of y'all can't even, sleep next to somebody that you're not sexually attracted to. And a lot of y'all are struggling with that mindset. What's wrong with having a 9-to-5 type of guy who you are attracted to? You may not get, this lavish lifestyle, but he's going to love you to the point where you feel like you're living lavishly. So I just think it's so interesting that y'all are more invested in what that man can bring outside of himself. Okay, it's like him being himself is not good enough anymore, and y'all really got to change that if you want to be in a committed relationship, if you're looking for that long-term partner.
If I could have any video go viral, it needs to be this one. I'm going to say this as plainly as possible. I'm seeing a growing trend on Instagram and TikTok of these women who are divorcing the covering. Listen, divorcing the covering and then complaining of the cost of their actions. I'm seeing a lot of women who are afforded the opportunity to be able to be at home to raise their babies. What a blessing that is, and to take care of the home while the husband is out providing. Meanwhile, these women will spend years in this marriage and say, you know what? I'm unhappy. I'm done. I'm filing for a divorce. And I'm going to add in here that I'm speaking from experience because this was me. I have been through all different roles of a mother, a stay-at-home mom, a working full-time mom, an active duty mom, a mom who was at home with the child while the husband was deployed mom. But I'm going to give you an example of what I'm seeing. I scrolled through TikTok this morning and I saw this creator who was crying to her supporters how she was left after 7 years of being a stay-at-home mom, and now she's left to provide for herself. Meanwhile, it only took me 2 minutes to scroll down through her content to notice, without even speaking to the husband, I can already tell you the type of dynamic. He's out providing financially. He comes home to a wife who is frazzled because all day she has given herself to other things. Her girlfriends, her trying to make TikToks to become a content creator, her out shopping, spending money. So when he comes home from work, the kids are chaotic, the house is a wreck, there's no dinner made, and she probably hands him the kids. Here you go, I'm stressed, I need a break. She filed for a divorce, and now her husband said she is cut off from the credit cards. And now, what do I do? And in the comment section, you had the same women just like her feet in the fire. Oh honey, you beast up and you go get you a lawyer. Go take him for all he is worth. And I know motherhood is exhausting. I'm not saying that you don't have a right to feel overwhelmed and exhausted. It's a full-time job. But what I'm trying to get at is, do you go help him with his job? You don't. And these women will cause their own chaos and then not communicate to their spouse that they need additional support or they need help for the moment, or they're feeling stressed or overwhelmed or burnt out. Instead, they go burn the whole place down. Not literally, but y'all know what I'm saying. And they go talk to their girlfriends, and then their girlfriends say, honey, the grass is greener on the other side. You deserve better than that. I'm here to tell you, sis, no, it's not greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. So before you put on your big bossy pants and say, I'm going to go find myself, maybe ask yourself, am I avoiding responsibility? Let me know what you think below. Y'all have a great day.